I'll give you some update. Well, we'll be focusing really on transfer stories because a lot of transfers gossip are beginning to come up. And we'll be looking at that on the show alongside Josiah Oppa. Good to have you, Josiah.
Good to have you, sir.
Yeah, good one. Let's run through some stories right now. Well, as we just saw, there are some clips from basketball, the slam and dunk sport. Let's quickly look at the result of the NBA games play earlier today. Well, games have been on over there in the NBA and they continue to go on. But right now, I'll be giving you updates concerning all the games. Let's look at the result of the NBA that actually went on today. As we look at the result, Philadelphia 76ers, they did well, defeating Orlando Magic 112-92. Toronto Raptors will actually wrap it up. They did well by winning by extra 30 points against Washington Wizards. Milwaukee Bucks 144 against Brooklyn Nets 122. What a routing there. Phoenix Suns did well also, defeating Houston Rockets 129-113. To let you know that Giannis Antetokounmpo also did well for Milwaukee Bucks. New York Knicks 120 against Oklahoma City Thunder, who won by extra 9 points to win that game. 129 against New York Knicks, who scored 120. And you have Cleveland Cavaliers 113. They won the game, extra 3 points against Dallas Mavericks, who scored 110. You look at all these games and you look at how many points being scored by these club sides over there in America. Well, big one for all the clubs like Toronto Raptors, Milwaukee Bucks, getting so much points, Phoenix Suns, and all the likes of the teams that actually played. Now, apart Josiah, look at the result, and I'm sure you have your favorite team there.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one that really interested me was the Rockets and I think the Suns game. Yeah, the Phoenix and the Houston Rockets. What interests me about this game is the fact that the result didn't really do justice to the play. What really differentiated this team was the 3 points. The 3-pointers. They had good players that were able to dominate in terms of 3-pointing mark. Why I'm saying this is for the fact that in terms of offensive rebound, defensive rebound, the Rockets guys were doing absolutely well, fighting for every of those rebounds. In terms of accuracy percentage, in terms of every win, they were totally dominant. But the result didn't really go in their favor because those guys were very good shooting from outside the cycle.
And it shows that you're just walking, someone is getting the credit.
Yeah.
So it was painful because Houston Rockets played their game, but Phoenix Suns were getting the point outside the curves. They are a good one for that particular analysis coming from Oppa Josiah. You look at the game for NBA, always very interesting when you watch these guys play basketball. They make it so easy that you want to become a basketball even yourself. But really, it's not easy playing this sport. And in the side of America, at least, if you want to talk about one of the richest sports there, basketball seems to be the second in command or third thereabout, because you can't take anything away from baseball. Americans don't joke with
golf too.
American soccer, they don't joke with it at all. And golf. So those sports, basketball too. I saw a particular post where a baseball player, Rodriguez or thereabouts, signing £248 million
wow.
deal. And that, although they have longer years to run,
yes,
12 years or thereabout, but really for a player to sign some $200 million, some, you'll be wondering, wow, this amount of money. And that's why you see basketballers, they have so much money because the amount of money they sign, especially those who play the NBA, those who are drafted, big money for them, their life turnover overnight, but they just need good managers to manage those money. But at times too, you look at the chunk of money that goes out as tax, it's not easy.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't envy them because they get a lot of cash, but the tax do get it back from them in a high proportion. It's just like the football. It's just that the number of footballers that get these junk amounts of money that the basketballers get, especially in the NBA, cannot be compared, because in terms of football, we only have a few number of players earning up to that amount or even more. But in basketball, we tend to have
more players.
And that's because in the United States is one of the top sports. It has gained prominence even more than football itself. That's why they call football there soccer. And the one they use with their hands that we all know as rugby, they call it American football. So
they actually swap it.
Yes, absolutely. So basketball has gained prominence, and it will take a very good number of years before what they call soccer
to turn to football,
yes.
and football turn into soccer.
Yes.
But really, if you look at America, they've made basketball as their sport worldwide, despite it's being played across the globe. But America have been at the forefront of making sure basketball, golf, and soccer, American baseball as their own sport. American football, you can't take any country playing, you still want to look up to America that, wow, these guys, they are number one in this. Well, we've been talking about the NBA, just giving you an oversight there, just digressing a bit. But really, when you look at the franchise of NBA, those marketing companies, those ambassadorial roles, those endorsements, everything put together to make sure that particular sport gets noticed across the globe is really worth it. They've turned NBA as their own number one, and really the whole world has actually bought into it, just the way the whole world is buying into the Premier League that has to do with England. Right now, let's go straight up to talk about Premier League. Fixtures will be coming up. Let's look at the matches that will be coming up. Just 2 matches or thereabout. Let's look at those fixtures. Brighton will take on Tottenham Hotspur, and you look at Arsenal against West Ham in the Battle of London. What will be the result there? It's a derby in London. Arsenal, West Ham, Brighton, Tottenham. Let's start with Brighton, Tottenham. Any expectations? Brighton defeating Tottenham Hotspur?
Well, it's possible considering their previous meetings. They've been grinding out results against Tottenham, but I hope they get the results. I consider Tottenham to be a first rival to Arsenal, so I wouldn't pray and bank on them to win.
So you are stylishly wishing Tottenham lose and Brighton should win.
Absolutely,
because you don't want them to get closer.
No, I'm not scared of them being closer because they'll always be Tottenham.
Seriously? Oh my goodness. Tottenham fans out there, I hope you apologize to them by the time they catch up with you.
Yeah, they will win subsequent games, but for this one, let them.
But they can't catch up with you. That's what you're saying.
No, they can't.
Well, an Arsenal fan always want to make sure they are the best in London. Well, they'll be facing West Ham tonight. A big one there because it's a derby in London between Arsenal and West Ham. Who stays top here? Between these two teams?
Arsenal, West Ham. I would definitely go for my team, but putting into consideration the dangerous players they have. Mohamed Kudus has come into this team performing absolutely well, beyond everyone wildest imagination. We've seen players come from the Dutch league and they needed time to adjust, but he just came into this team, and the way he has gelled in, it's absolutely amazing. The kind of synergy he has developed with Lucas Paqueta is amazing. The goals he has been scoring, the assist has been coming through him, and not ruling out the impact of Gerard Bowen. They've been playing absolutely well, and I expect those players to cause us harm, but I hope our defenders live up to expectations.
Now the names you mentioned, Kudus, Mohamed Kudus, the Ghanaian player, fantastic player. You can't take anything away from that. Yeah. In fact, it's a real revelation after bringing him, because someone said, you still wonder how Erik ten Hag couldn't see to bring that guy to Manchester instead of taking Anthony. But, well, that's football. Maybe you prefer Anthony to Kudus. But right now, look at what Kudus is doing with
and look at the amounts. They signed Anthony for 80 million, and Mohamed was barely signed for 30 million.
And then you look at the connection with Paqueta and Bowen that you mentioned. They've been fantastic for West Ham United. And really, I'm sure if Kudus continue to play this way, bigger clubs are coming.
Absolutely. The main thing for him right now is not just to get ahead of himself, but to remain humble and disciplined to ensure that he maintains this level of consistency.
And integrate.
Yes, and integrate properly. Because he's getting this opportunity because the striker, that's Antonio, has been injured. So
something must happen for you to also
get so I hope that even when Antonio returns, he continues performing to retain that position.
But now you mentioned your defenders. You kind of sounds a bit scared that maybe your defender won't be able to withstand the heat from Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen and all that.
Well, the only Achilles I'm having in that defense is Zinchenko, because he usually drifts in. He's very good attacking wise, but when it comes to the defensive play, the positioning, the goals we've been conceding, the team has been conceding in the past couple of games, have been from his own side. So I hope that there will be a different approach to his game today, ensuring that he adds to the team by ensuring that there is no space allocated to these dangerous players, because they are all pretty fast.
So from what you are saying now, you have that fear that Zinchenko may not be good enough or strong enough to withstand the heat from these guys.
Absolutely, but it's still dependent on
Arteta?
Not Arteta per se. Last season we had Xhaka. And anytime Zinchenko is out of position, Xhaka always fall back in. That's why people fail to see the lapses in his game. And this season there is no Xhaka to cover up for him. And I hope that he wouldn't fall our hands as usual against the Kudus, the Bowen, and the Paqueta.
And from the way it is, actually, maybe Zinchenko a bit, the beards. You and Zinchenko?
No, he's yet to have beards.
Oh,
he's
my
still
goodness.
developing.
I just want to at least put your leg a bit. But really, we're talking about Arsenal against West Ham. Big match coming up over there in London. It's a big derby. Who wins our battle? Let's see if the Gunners will gun them down, or West Ham United will actually be able to do it against Arsenal. But for the fact that the Ghanaian brother of Kudus, yes, you can call him our brother, he's really doing so well, and we're proud of him for the fact that he has showed his class since he got that particular opportunity to play at West Ham United, and now he's doing so well. Wishing him the best in that game against Arsenal. Right now, as we're actually talking about that, let's just go on a short break for you to have a feel of some, at least, let's play some rugby. We'll be right back. What you is not correct.
Everyone they bring from Nigeria.
For the love of the game, right?
Leave it first. That's the battery.
Fine game. Fine game.
Good run.
Because the money I define.
Good play. Professional play. Too much rush of blood. Guy, chill small, chill small. Aduna for 5th and 6th playoffs to determine the 5th and the 6th team.
A good one. Let's have a feel of a rugby. That's actually Nigeria. A good one. Rugby players. We have to celebrate them for what they are doing right now. Let's go to those transfer gossips as we run through transfer stories trending. Let's start with Newcastle, Juventus, Everton, and Crystal Palace are keen on Calvin Phillips of Man City. Calvin Phillips has been a player that almost everyone wants to buy from the way it is.
Well, right from his Leeds days, he's a player I really admire. he has been a top defensive midfielder, with the exception of when he gets injured. That's his only problem. He tends to get injured when his team really needs him. But the disappointing thing is the fact that he has failed to integrate into this Man City team, which I see why he's looking forward to leaving the team. And for the teams that are out there in search of his signature, I hope that when he gets that team, he'll suit their style of play, and he'll be that player that he used to be while in Leeds.
Well, those teams are trying to go for the signature of Calvin Phillips, Juve, Everton, also not forgetting Newcastle United. Right now, we're talking about the Glazer family after selling 25% stake to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. News came out that if they terminate the 25% stake in Manchester United deal, they will have to pay him £52 million. What a way to go.
It's a really smart move. You know, anytime you're going for a contract, it's very good you pay attention to detail and know what you want. So this is a clause already. If they decide to go against it, they have to
cough out some money.
Yes.
And £52 million is not 52 naira.
At all.
Jim Ratcliffe, a shrewd businessman. He knows how to do business and he's ready to do it with the Glazers family. Well, right now, let's look at another one. Benfica midfielder Joao Neves could move to Manchester United. That's another story we are looking at. Benfica midfielder Joao Neves could move to Manchester United. This player, a young player, but right now they are going for a Portuguese player, since Ronaldo was so good for them.
This guy is a top talent, trust me. He has the stats and his style of play is quite impressive. And considering he's very young, the only thing is you can't guarantee his integration into the team. We have players that have left Benfica, but it's just a few that have been able to perform. And I hope that he will, if they eventually sign him, he will be that player they hope they were signing.
Well, from the way it is right now, Manchester United will be focusing on Portugal. While we talk about the Benfica player, they are also looking at that player from Sporting Lisbon. Let's look at that story. Manchester United are keen on striker Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. This is another player they want to go for.
Well, I don't know if they want to become another Chelsea. You know, in the past transfer window, we'll always be hearing Chelsea are going after this player, going after this player. But they've identified a deficiency in the team where needs help. And since they see this player as a player that can shoot in, he has the goals in him, but he's still developing. They signed Højlund, but he has not been shipping in the goals. This one also is just like another Højlund. He's still developing. But it seems they've seen what they are looking for, what is not in Højlund. But I hope that if they eventually sign him, it's just a rumor, he will be able to do what they want him to do.
Let's see what Manchester United will be getting from this player that they want to sign. And who knows, January is getting closer and they want to get some players to at least for the 5-year team. We look at Arsenal, the Gunners. Well, the Gunners are watching Bayern Munich central defender Martins Delay. They want to go for him. And at least Arteta has already give that ink that they want to get some player in January.
Well, he's a very good player, trust me. It's also unfortunate how he has been in and out of the team. And that's why this story is coming up. But for the Arsenal team, I'm not really expecting us to sign a top defender as he is to come and be sitting down on the bench. I don't expect him to withdraw Saliba back to the bench. Neither do I expect Gabriel, considering the kind of synergy they have as partners in that team.
Well, from the way it is right now, we have to make it 2-1. Our time is almost up. Let's look at Atletico Madrid player Antoine Griezmann says, well, Atletico Madrid will be my last club in Europe. I'm going to America. Well, he wants to join Messi or thereabout in Miami.
Yeah, there have been rumors, and from the way he has been speaking, it seems he's drawn to the idea of playing for that particular team.
Well, the last one says Roma to make a move to sign defender Leonardo Bonucci from Union Berlin. Bonucci has been a player that they really want to get. Jose Mourinho has been watching him, and who knows, maybe he can get into sign for them there. That will be it on the show. Sports update on Trust TV. Opa Josiah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm
Always a pleasure.
Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.